muritoko chaizandla chisa pamachisa kukula izenzo zako Siana inaye Chamisa mumuwengereye Mirai volume yoyo isho masa munonze Siana inaye munomuwengereye Very good. Mogamdeka Munose Mogamdeka Mogamdeka Armaviri Siana inaye munomuwengereye Siana inaye munomuwengereye Siana inaye munomuwengereye Thank you very much, Mutende wako Mudenga. Chamisa hoye! Chamisa hoye! Pastage wako Mudenga. Pastage wako Mudenga. Chamisa hoye! Thank you very much. Mr. President, Sebato Revano. Sebato rakavoterwa nevano Zimbabwe musi wa 30 July 2018 tinakutaridza kunyika kuti MDC we are ready to govern.
Sifuna ukutshengisela ilizwe lonke ukuthi sizimisela ukubusa.
Panguva ino reganda nevana vedu tiite national anthem munhu wese anosumuka tichimba national anthem.
Asisukumeni sonke sihlabele i-national anthem.
Murina muritauko! Chisamba machisa! Yasoko! President wavanu! Zina mtindo, President wavanu! President wavanu! President wavanu! President wavanu! Yasoko! Nekoko! Nepapo! Thank you.
Pamsore President, Pamsore Imam. Simuzai mureza wedu weZimbabwe yakazvarwa nomoto wechimurenga neropa zhinji ramakamba
Siyabonga. Zimbabwe is for all of us. Andi sohere. Zimbabwe is our country. Andi sohere. Na baba wa Chamisa vedu wataka votera musi wa 3 July.
iZimbabwe ngethu sonke lo baba uChamisa samvotelayo ngaleyo nyanga kaJuly.
Chisamba matisa. Kure takabva navo. Kure. Esoko waya nekokoko. Tinokutendai maprovince edu, tinokutendai Gweru, tinokutendai Midlands, tinokutendai Zimbabwe yonke.
Siyalibonga lonke jikelele.
Nasi tirikuta our official opening ye Congress yedu. So allow me to invite our national chairperson, Honorable Chavita Kumalo. Chaizandla!
Chamisa oye! Chamisa oye! Salibonani! Magadiniko! President Advocate Nelson Chamisa, Baba Ndiweni Nomatuna, delegates, our invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, President Advocate Nelson Chamisa, I, Tabitha Kumalo, the national chairperson of the Movement for Democratic Change, have the honor to welcome you all delegates and invited guests here present. In terms of the MDC Constitution, I hereby declare the 5th National Congress of the MDC duly convened and constituted. I thank you. Chamisa oye! 2019! Chamisa chete! Ezoko! Tinotenda. Chinjaiwe! Maitiro akwayo! Toda kukudzai kuti takakudzai kuti tichainvite vame vedu vanobva kunze kwenyika vatishanyira vasvika pano nhasi ndozvatinonotsa mbijana takavamirira zile zetekeli zetu esizinxusile ezivele ngaphandle kwamazwe kumzantsi Afrika sebefikile ngizathi basukumeli babone sibaqambe ngamabizo. My invited guests, could you please give us the honor and stand up, President? Yes. We have Uganda is here. Bobby Wine over to the podium. We have President Bobby Wine is here today to grace our Congress. A round of applause. He's accompanied with honorable members and his Secretary General is here. Thank you. Thank you. And then we have Kenya over here. This is our honorable members from Kenya. A round of applause. Tata. Tambokudzai kuti tina chief wetu Ndiweni mavaona vachipinda na chief Maduna mavaona vachipinda. Tinokutendai vana veMDC. Maoko kudenga. Machief ese tata vakoka. Tineshuve kuti vachauya vese. Sezvo chief Ndiweni vatosvika. Vamwe vari munzira. Inkosi zenxusile. Abanye kwese semgwaqweni siyakwazi ukuthi kulodubo lwamafutha bangafika sizalazisa ukuthi sebefikile. Siyabonga.
Chisampa Matisa Kukula Izenzo zako Chinjaiwe Matira kwayo Echizanu zanayo Hesoko. Right, thank you very much, Our National Chair. It's now time for solidarity messages. We are going to start with Zinaso, followed by ZC2U, followed by Chisapa Matisa. Please, Zinasu. Roma Zuban. Pandinago Fema Joso, Kanda Manzi. Those no Tavana Yoso. Zinasu. Ahoy, Mayupa, ahoy! Ahoy, Mayupa, ahoy! Ahoy, Mayupa, ahoy! Fanam.
Viva Zimbabwe, viva! Viva Zimbabwe, viva! Ahoy, Mayuda, ahoy! Thank you very much. Pabsoro, President, Pabsoro, Madishe, and all the leadership from different countries that are here present. And most importantly, to you, the members of the Movement for Democratic Change. We are coming here as students, as young people, and we are supporting this because this is the only progressive movement in this country. Zvinhu zvadhakwa, zvinhu zvakudhura muno munyika, hatichakwanise kurarama sevechidiki. The only way that we can get into a better Zimbabwe is through this team that is here. So from the outcome of this Congress, the biggest winner should be Zimbabwe. We thank you, wish you all the best, and thank you.
Tunotenda. Chisapa Matisa. Gutula. Izenzo. Ndichakumbira mfano wangu. Jinda ra mambo auye kuno mberi vasumudzira mambo wedu Chief Ndiweni vatipe solidarity speech yavo. Jinda ra mambo murore maoko chaizandla siyabonga.
Zigwate wena wengwe nankonyama siphakamisani ke manje indunankulu ubaba uNdiweni unjola umkheswa umdladlodla amandla akhe uthola besabe bezizwe nezizwana oludungani kandaba ilingo elimqonga kwabakamputhi amahlathi amadangondini kwabakamkheswa enjola emdladla uyena okamkhulunyelwa kathambo enkulunkulu eyabekwa ngamantungwa ongangendlovu uyena beyinkosi umdladlodla amandla akhe uthola besabe bezizwe nezizwana ubuhlasi bedlunkulu amadanga omalebo mfuna ontazi busele esemangweni osathuka asemadlodlongwane ingweni imqonga mputhi yamahlathi lodunga kandaba njola kamkheswa lomaphikela wengwe zikode. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Linjani. How are you folks? Are you well? It's wonderful to meet up here today. I came to see you what you're doing. Ukubona ukuthi what you're doing. And to learn from you from today. But before I start my address to you, could I please ask you to all stand up so that we can have a moment of silence. Just one moment of silence to remember a fallen soldier. Ubaba udumiso tabengwa. Can we just keep quiet for one moment so that we can remember a son of the soil, an individual who gave his all so that we can be here today. We thank you, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you. I stand before you today as probably the first chief to come before you. I come before you because that is my job. My job is to live with my people. My job is to listen to the people. If the people are hungry, I must stand up and do something about it. If the people cannot pay school fees, I must stand up and do something about it. If the people do not have buses and combis, I must stand up and do something about it. If the people do not have petrol and diesel, I must stand up and do something about it. If when the people go to Pick and Pay and they cannot buy the shopping, I must do something about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time. People have misunderstood what Amakosi do, what chiefs do. We have read so many documents in the press saying a chief is only for culture. A chief must only hide himself in the corner. A chief is someone who does not speak. My job title in the Constitution says, Chief Ndiweni, you must maintain, protect the customs, practices, traditions, and norms of your people. That means, Chief Ndiweni, when there's a child born in your area, you must be concerned. When there's a wedding in your area, you must be concerned. When there's a funeral in your area, you must be concerned. When the clinic in your area does not work, you must be concerned. When the roads are not proper, you must be concerned. When the agriculture is not right, you must be concerned. What I'm trying to bring over to you, good people, is that a traditional leader, a chief, must speak about everything at any time whatsoever. There is no subject that a traditional leader cannot speak about. When you go to government, you'll find that there's a minister with portfolio responsibilities for education. That minister cannot speak about a clinic. That minister cannot speak about the police. That minister cannot speak about the defense forces.
That minister cannot speak about a clinic. That minister cannot speak about primary health care. But a chief can speak about all of those things. It is the duty of a chief to speak about all of those things. Where there's only a constitutional obligation, a legal obligation upon the chief, is that that chief must not engage in party politics. That chief must not engage in party politics. That is the law of the land. And therefore I stick by that law. For I am law-abiding. And I follow the law to the letter and to the T. What I'm doing here before you is engaging in current affairs, fact-finding. For when you come to my jurisdiction, you'll find all political parties there. With all of those political parties, I cannot choose amongst my children. My children are my children. If one child likes to do athletics, that is good. If one child likes to read books, that is good. If one child likes to cook, that is good. If that one child likes livestock, that is good. But they are all my children. I will not turn any one of them away. If one of you comes to me with a problem, I will treat you with respect. I will give you the time of day. I will listen to your problem. I will address that problem to you. Just with everybody else. So I said I'll say that right at the beginning so that these people that write the newspapers and the likes, they'll start cultivating a story. That story will say, yes, we saw Chief Ndiweni wearing a red beret. I'm wearing my traditional attire today. But I said I need to come and see you, to speak with you, so we can understand each other. Our country, as you all know, is going through a terrible, terrible, terrible time. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. Nothing is going right for us whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some sacred things that we sometimes forget. You saw me in the papers a little while ago being very angry about a mountain. That mountain is called Ndaba Zinduna. It is called the Hill of the Chiefs, the Hill of Amakosi. When someone chooses to start a fight with a hill, you are fighting the Almighty. You are not fighting against Chief Ndiweni. You have chosen a fight with the Almighty God Himself. Because you have failed to respect the customs and traditions of the local people. When someone who says they are looking after you comes into your house and does not respect you, does not respect your husband, does not respect your wife, does not respect your child, does not respect your grandmother, They do not deserve to be in charge of you. They do not deserve to determine what happens to you. This is what happened here in our country lately, where that respect has gone out of the window, where individuals have been full of corruption and fraud that they think they are the Almighty God himself. I look amongst you here, and I look amongst the delegates here, and I see men and women of honor. I see a vibrant community, people who want to do the right thing. For me, as a traditional leader, that is the most important thing I have. My vested interest is the well-being of my people. What is a leader? What is a leader? What qualifications should a leader have? Let's go back into the old scriptures a little while. In the Old Testament, here's a story, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen to it. Moses has been working for a long time. Moses has not been sleeping for a long time. The people have been troubling him. This and that, this and that. Moses' father-in-law comes, Jethro, the priest of Midian. He says, Moses, if you work this hard, you will go mad. You will not know what your left hand is doing and what your right hand is doing. You need leaders. And so Moses went up to the mountain to consult the Almighty. And the Almighty said, Moses, go down amongst your people and choose 70 people. Those 70 people will become your leaders and your judges. Moses did that. And he chose the first 70. And when he had prepared those 70, he brought them to the tent of the covenant. And the Almighty said, with those 70 people, I will pour into them wisdom, knowledge. I will pour into them the Holy Spirit. So by that scripture there, it tells us clearly that a leader must be God-fearing. It is, ladies and gentlemen, impossible for anyone to be a proper leader if they are not God-fearing. Because those were the qualities placed down way before. But there was a second quality brought in that came from the mountain. It said, Moses, those leaders must not be susceptible to bribes. They must not like taking money. They must not like taking money on the left hand or the right hand. They must be clean. They must not engage in fraud and corruption. And so, from my discussions prior and even today, I can see there's a good team here. I can see there's a good team here. Ladies and gentlemen, our issue here in Zimbabwe is a very serious issue. We have a failure of democracy. When democracy fails, everything else fails. Even if you are trying to fix a local clinic, you will not achieve that because democracy has failed. Even if you go to the law enforcement agents, the police, they'll treat you wrongly because democracy has failed. Even if you go to the magistrates and the High Court, you will not receive justice because democracy has failed. Ladies and gentlemen, democracy touches every single part of our life. If we are going to dig ourselves out of this hole, we must aim at democracy. Because democracy defends you. Who's sitting right there? Who's sitting right there? It looks after your rights. It protects you. It enables you to walk tall. To know that I am a Zimbabwean and I have my rights and I have my protection. So democracy is the main thing that we should be looking at. And I know your team here will do that. I know they're focusing on that. I know they're trying to sort it out. Currently, in our country, we have a constitutional president. But here, right here, we have the popular president. In our country, ladies and gentlemen, in our country, that is the problem that we have. And so long as people are stubborn and do not want to see common sense, we will continue to have problems. We haven't started yet. It will get worse and worse. Those issues have to be resolved. There's an old boxer. He passed away sometime. Muhammad Ali. A great fighter. A great fighter in the boxing ring. He fought George Foreman. Also a great fighter. These fighters were always fighting in the boxing ring. Always fighting in the boxing ring. But what would you say, ladies and gentlemen, if George Foreman said, we don't need a referee in the boxing ring. I can box and also be the referee. Would you believe that? Would you go and watch that boxing match? Because one of the boxers is saying, I'm also a referee. That is Zimbabwe 2019. For us to go forward, ladies and gentlemen, we need a third person in the room. Someone who's impartial. Someone who's got the well-being of this nation at heart. Someone who can judge fairly. Someone who can adjudicate fairly. Someone who can give a timeline into all that is discussed. It is only then that we can have a proper dialogue. A dialogue without those prerequisites is nonsense. It is a waste of time. It is a waste of my time. It is a waste of your time. We need to go forward. We need to go forward. I know there were many people who were saying the High Court or the Supreme Court gave a verdict. Chief Justice Malaba gave a verdict and determined who should stay at the State House. Ladies and gentlemen, every week, every Saturday in Dawazinduna, every one of my headmen gives a better judgment than that. The judiciary, ladies and gentlemen, the judiciary has let us down profoundly. We are in this mess because they did not rise to the occasion. We all saw it on TV. The international arena saw it on TV. Legal counsels gave their verdict. Advocates, judges, present and past, gave their verdict on what our top judges were doing. They failed. They failed the nation. And so when someone says there's an issue of legitimacy, it is alive and kicking, and it is here. That issue of legitimacy will not go away because our judiciary let us down. That issue of legitimacy leads to a no confidence vote from the international arena. So long as we stay as we are, we will not get investment. Our economy will not rise up. We will not get a better lifestyle. The conversation I'm giving to you today is one which we normally have a talk with my beloved friend, Chief Vezi Matuna. He could not make it here today, but he sent his stand-in to stand in for him, to say, Chief Ndiweni, take this young man with you. He's standing for me. Let's give the old man a hand of applause. Chief Vezi Matuna is an old chief. He's a chief who was in and out of jail over 6 to 10 times during the colonial period. He's a war vet. He's an original war vet, before war vets came. His credentials are impeccable. So when you see a chief like that standing up, you must know there's something in the air. So let's give him a round of applause. Today, good people, is Africa Day. It is the day that the African continent is celebrating its culture, its heritage. It's celebrating who we are as a continent. Here in Zimbabwe, who we are as a nation. As a traditional leader, as I gave you an earlier description, my job is to look after that. We are a rainbow nation, ladies and gentlemen. we are a wonderful rainbow nation. Each one of us has a language, a culture, a heritage, a cuisine. Each one of us has a surname which speaks about our forefathers, who we were. As I stand before you, my forefathers are written into my totem. My totem is Ndiweni, umkeswa, umdladla odla amandla akhe, ilingwe limqongo, madunga kandaba, imputhi yamahlathi, izizwe lezizwane. So when you see me, you do not just see me, myself. You see myself and my heritage. That is why it is Africa Day today, to celebrate who we are in our diversity. I hope your conference goes well. I hope you talk and you deliberate well. My request to you is that you do not accept mediocrity amongst your leaders. Under no circumstance accept mediocrity amongst your leaders. We want men and women of stature. Men and women who will put a footprint on this nation for the positive, for the right. We want men and women who can turn this country round so that we can take stock of the inheritance the Almighty gave us. And it is a wonderful inheritance. It is a beautiful inheritance with the right team. Only with the right team. So I thank you for the invitation. I thank you wholeheartedly for the invitation. Thank you very much.
Chaisandla! Chaimpululu! Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. That was powerful. Ah? Doma Tisheka, Wandiswere. Another round of applause. Chaisandla! Chisampa Machisa! Kutula! Yes, Wako! Thank you, Chief Ndiweni. Thank you, Siyabonga Kakulu. Let me call upon our Honorable Member of Parliament, all the way from Uganda, Honorable Babu Owino, a leader of the People Power Movement. Chaisandla! Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Chinja, Maichiro, I'm Honorable Babu Owino from Kenya, Member of Parliament and the Secretary General for Kenya Young Parliamentarians. Accept greetings from the good people of Kenya, my party, Orange Democratic Movement, and my party leader, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. Just last year, His Excellency Raila Odinga was here in Zimbabwe to lay to rest his long-time friend and comrade, the Right Honorable Morgan Changirai. The late Changirai was a regular visitor at our ODM National Congress in Kenya and was well known to our members as a friend and political mentor. The relationship between the two movements has been in existence for many years, and my presence here today is an acknowledgement of how intertwined the ODM and the MDC are in ideology and vision. I would therefore like to take this opportunity to thank your party leader, Honorable Nelson Chamisa, for extending this kind invitation to me to join you at this auspicious and historic function. We are gathered here today to reflect upon an agenda that holds very close to my heart. An agenda I have been championing since my days as a student leader in Nairobi, and indeed to this day as a member of parliament in Kenya, of the Kenyan National Assembly. An agenda that I will never tire in advocating. An agenda that has brought all of us together here today, the liberation agenda. Since the recent political upheaval here in Zimbabwe, there have been significant continental events that have advanced the cause of democracy and others that have similarly dealt it retrogressive blows. In Gambia, the despotic dictator who thrived in the blood of innocent citizens was deposed following an attempt to subvert the sovereign will of the people after he lost elections. In Sudan, young women formed the spine of a movement that pushed the regime change after 39 years of dictatorship. And their efforts did not stop there. They are now leading from the front in a push to ensure civilian rule. In Algeria, public pressure from the youth constituency forced the ailing president, Bouteflika, to agree to stepping down from power, bringing a new dawn to the people of that great nation. In DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, President Felix Tshisekedi peacefully took over the reins after what some call a tense transition following the lapse in former President Kabila's tenure. This proved to the world that the peaceful handover of power is possible in the continent of Africa. However, there have also been dark stains that have discolored our liberation agenda. That is to say, the most notably is in Uganda, where my personal friend and our comrade in arms, Honorable Bobby Wine, was illegally arrested and detained for no crime other than being a young person with a vision for his people. Here in Zimbabwe, the cloud of dummy elections still hangs over your democracy as it does in my own beloved country. I appeal to you, the young people of Zimbabwe, led by Comrade Chamisa, to join hands with the rest of us like-minded revolutionaries across the continent to ensure that the leaders who stick in power, the leaders who are not democratic, are removed from power. It is only here in Africa where our leaders, where our nations, where our countries take so much time, so much resources in training people like our doctors. Yet, when they are sick, they seek for medical attention from the Western countries. It is only here in Africa where we embrace education, but the leaders, the children of our leaders, of our elected leaders, get educated from abroad, from the Western countries. It is only here in Africa where we train our engineers, but we don't have trust in them. We don't even believe that they can even manufacture a toothpick. That's why we import even the Chinese to construct our roads, because we have no faith in our engineers. Therefore, the people of Zimbabwe, I call upon you, and I want you to show me by a show of hands how many people will help in fighting the shackles of oppression. In the end, God will punish both the oppressor and the oppressed. The oppressor shall be punished for oppression, while the oppressed shall be punished even more for accepting oppression. Therefore, do not accept oppression and do not be an oppressor. Viva MDF, viva! People power. And in my home we say, ODM Tibim, and you say, Tialala. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you, the people of Zimbabwe.
Yeah, people power, our power. Isala Bezulu. People power. People power. Our power. Our power. Hey, munogona manzurere mabako. Thank you very much, Honorable Siabonga. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Allow me to call upon Honorable Edwin Sifuna, the Secretary General for ODM Party from Kenya. Chisamba Matisa.
Thank you very much. Chamisa oye! MDC oye! Your Excellency, the People's President, Honorable Nelson Chamisa, King Ndiweni, and Chief Maduna, through his representative who is here, and all the delegates of MDC, I bring you greetings from your comrades in the Orange Democratic Movement Party in Kenya. Let me see by a show of hands how many receive those greetings. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Mr. President, I am here as the Secretary General of the party. I have been given a message to deliver to you by my party leader and the Kenyan People's President, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And Mr. President, before I do that, yesterday when I arrived in Harare, it was my first time to come to Zimbabwe. And immediately I declared that I was coming to the MDC Congress. They took me to a small room to ask me a few questions. I was a bit surprised because I was hoping to come to an open and democratic society that welcomes everybody, regardless of who you are coming to see. So the first question they asked me was, how do you know these MDC crooks? And I told them that the MDC and my party ODM have a long history since the times of Morgan Changirai. And they told me that the MDC are troublemakers, that you have rejected the results of the elections, that you are arranging some sort of upheaval, protest, to remove the democratically elected president. So I asked them, they asked me, how do you know these troublemakers? And I told them, if you are intelligence officers, you should know that as a Secretary General of ODM, I am also a troublemaker. I told them that as troublemakers, we tend to have friends who are also troublemakers. And that is the reason why I count the MDC as a friend. But I have not come here for trouble. Finally, they asked me, if you get opportunity to speak, what will you say? And I told them, I have been sent by the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and he has given me a written speech. So if you tune in tomorrow, you will listen to the words that he has sent me to say. So, Mr. President, without further ado, delegates, allow me to read the message from the People's President in Kenya, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Party leader, distinguished delegates, I am honored to be with you again. As you may all remember, I was with you physically at the 3rd National Congress of the Movement for Democratic Change in Bulawayo on 29th of April 2011. I came at the invitation of the late Right Honorable Morgan Tsvangirai, Prime Minister of the Republic of Zimbabwe and President of the Movement for Democratic Change. May his soul rest in eternal peace. It was a challenging and exciting time back then. Change was in the air, and Zimbabwe was ripe for change then, and it still is today. Since then, much has happened. Our brother Morgan has left us. You have gone through elections, and Zimbabwe has had a change of government. Through all this, I am happy to note that the MDC has remained strong and focused and has become a formidable force in Zimbabwe and on the continent of Africa. At 20, the MDC can no longer be wished away. Those who saw it as a passing cloud now know better. They have to think again. I have not been able to join you at this 5th Congress of the MDC, but be assured I am with you in spirit, in prayers, and in all best wishes. I salute you and the people of Zimbabwe for the focus, the resilience, and the peace with which you continue to fight for a freer, more prosperous, and united Zimbabwe. I want to assure you that however long and painful the struggle may be, one day you shall overcome. One day justice will prevail. One day Zimbabwe shall regain its glory and glitter. One day the people of Zimbabwe will regain their pride as a community that has contributed immensely to the liberation and beauty of Africa as a place of many cultures, many traditions, and many tribes, and many economic activities, all pulling in the same direction of the beauty and pride of our continent. It is my prayer that this comes via the MDC. Zimbabwe and Kenya have experienced very similar histories since independence, of heroic people struggling for liberation from oppression and repression. Many Zimbabweans, like Kenyans, have paid the ultimate price for a future worth having, dying in order that the nation might live. We share heartfelt grief and respect for their sacrifice. We have other similarities and links. Several Kenyan leaders were educated here in Zimbabwe. When Zimbabwe gained independence, a number of Kenyans helped in establishing its key institutions and government structures. It is this bond that makes us partners in democracy and in moving our continent forward. Our respective liberation wars have shown how a downtrodden people can rise up and demand respect. That spirit lives in the MDC. It must radiate across the entire nation. Never give up. Finally, Mr. President, I was very moved by the words of a preacher, and especially the words of King Ndiweni, that when God anoints a leader, he anoints a leader who is fearful of God, not a leader who fears his own people. When you see a regime that fears its people, you must know that there are question marks about their legitimacy. What I saw at the airport yesterday was a regime that is afraid of the people of Zimbabwe. And I hope to God that the people of Zimbabwe shall get what is coming to them in due course. Thank you very much, Mr. President. And from your comrades in Nairobi, we are together.
Thank you, Secretary General Chaizandla. Chisampama Chisa. Kukula. Izenzo Sako. 2011 Kupaba Fields. Tangatina President Odinga. Paashaika Baba Wedu. Our icon, our founder president, Baba Wachangrai, President Odinga, Tangatina kwa humanikwa, Anzoere. Chisampa Machisa, Kutula, Yesoko. Thank you. Our party was formed, ZCTU. ZCTU, no maiwedu se MDC. So panguba ino, shinga mshandi shinga. Shinga mshandi shinga. Zakaoma kudaro. Kwina msenzi kwina. Tenda. Tese tunoziba kuti vachangirai. Vachita president wa MDC. Vanga vari mumiri wevashandi, vari secretary general wevashandi. Saka nanhasi semusangano wedu tinofamba pamwe chete namai vedu Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Union. Tina third vice president vari pano, Baba Vamanyere. Varore mavoko. Chaizandla.
Shinga mshandi shinga. Amandla. Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions. We are proud to be here. We are proud to witness the democratic processes that are going to happen here at this Congress. ZCTU, tinofara ukange uchiona mwana wako achikura achiteverera gwara from kuzvarwa kwaakaitwa. Congress time itime yekusarudza utungamiriri. Vashandi vakaomerwa neupenyu. Naizvozvo seZCTU itarisiro yedu kuona masolutions achiva kutaura kuno nyika ina mafuta. There is a high level of unemployment in this country. Naizvozvo itarisiro yedu semubereki weMDC kuti MDC will provide these solutions that are much needed by the workers of Zimbabwe. Naizvozvo nenguva iyo, it is also my appeal kuti when on this Congress tisarudze vanhu vane vision. Amandla. So naizvozvo
tinotenda our vice president Baba Vamanyere. Varore mavoko. Tinotenda nokuramba achifamba tese semusangano weMDC. Hatikangani kwatakabva. Gavi rinobva kumasuuriro. Tinozvitenda izvozvo. Chisampa machisa. Gukula. Izenzo zako. Yesoko. Panguva ino nditenderei kudana our vice president Professor Washman Nguwe mavhodzera Yes, Oko. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prof.
Chenja, Maitiro, Kokola, Izenzo, Pamsoro, President, Advocate Nelson Chamisa. Allow me ukuthi ngihloniphe ubaba uKeswa Undiweni, ngihloniphe njalo ubaba uMaduna, ngihloniphe bonke ama invited guests. The task I have been given by the President at this particular moment, at the occasion of our 5th Congress, is to briefly introduce our guest of honor, who will give us his speech. Our guest of honor today in the city of Gweru is a true son of the soil. He hails from an African country, Uganda. His name is Robert Chiakulanye Sentum, but all of you know him popularly as an artist and as Bob Wine. Chenja, Maitiro, he is also a member of parliament for the constituents of Chiatondo East in Uganda. It is now my singular privilege, Mr. President, and honor on your behalf to ask our guest of honor to come to the stage and address us. Thank you.
Africa, oi! Zimbabwe, oi! MDC, oi! Chamisa, oi! Viva Africa, viva! Viva Zimbabwe, viva! Viva MDC, viva! Viva Chamisa, viva! Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. When I was entering Zimbabwe at the airport, I had to sign an understanding that I'm not coming to Zimbabwe to sing. I understand it because in most countries, one has to get permission to get employment. And because I'm mostly known as a performer, I understood it. But I also understood it further because my music is not just entertainment, it is edutainment. And that is why my music has been banned in Uganda and in all countries that fear revolution through music. However, with your indulgence, Mr. President, I will request you to allow me to just jam with the brothers and sisters in just 2 seconds. And we're going to sing together. This song, I first sang it in Uganda. I'll sing for you the Ugandan version, and together with you, we shall edit it to the Zimbabwean version. This is how it goes. Uganda, Uganda, you sleeping mama land. Yeah, just wake up mama land. So now I want us to do it in Zimbabwean style. And here we go. Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe, you sleeping mama land. Yeah, just wake up mama land. One more time, let's sing together. Let's go. Zimbabwe. I can't hear you. One more time. Zimbabwe, you sleeping mama land. Yeah, just wake up mama land. One more time for Zimbabwe. Let's go. Come on. Zimbabwe. Wow, somebody's touching a guitar. And that's my brother Nubian Lee. Give me that vibe. Na na na, na na na. Yaga yaga yao. Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe, you sleeping mama land. Wake up mama land. Is somebody hearing me? Zimbabwe, woo! Zimbabwe, sleeping mama land. Wake up mama land. Chamisa we are the continent, the future, the change we badly need. We are the country, we are the future, we are the change we badly need. We are the youngest population in the world, we stand a chance. We are the leaders of the future, and the future is today. If we only come together, we can change our destiny. If we only come together, we can change our destiny. If we only come together, we can change our... Sing along, Zimbabwe. Sing with me now. Zimbabwe is living on my land. Wake up my land. Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe, give me my land. Woo, 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 my land. Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe, you sleeping mama. Thank you. I got the next microphone. Let me sing with the president. We are the Zimbabwe. One more time, Mr. President. Zimbabwe, you sleeping mama land. Wake up mama land. Woo! We are the country, we are the future, we are the change we badly need. We are the country, we are the future, we are the change we badly need. We are the youngest population. In the world we stand a chance. We are the leaders of the future. Are you feeling it? I say put up your hand if you love Chamisa. Put up your hand if you love Chamisa. Put up your hand if you love MDC.
Wow! Africa! Zimbabwe! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, Zimbabwe! Woo!
Thank you. Thank you. What an honor. What a pleasure. What an honor to sing with the president. That's the magic of our generation. That's the beauty of our generation. It is indeed no mistake. Comrade President, Honorable Nelson Chamisa, His Highness King Felix Ndiweni, the leadership of the Movement for Democratic Change, fellow comrades and leaders from different African countries, my comrade and dear brother, the Honorable Babu Owino, fellow fighters for democracy and freedom, ladies and gentlemen, I bring greetings from Uganda. I bring greetings from your brothers and sisters from the People Power movement in Uganda. You see, there are only a few times, ladies and gentlemen, when one gets to interact with people from another nation and yet feels so much at home. Today is such a day. I don't just feel at home being in your midst or singing for you. I am actually home. Ndili pamusha pangu. Is that how you say it? Comrades, you are our brothers and sisters in every sense of the word. The historical ties between Uganda and Zimbabwe are so strong. The stories of our two countries are very similar. The struggles of our people are not so different. And yes, the hopes and aspirations of our people are also similar. We share a common heritage, only separated by colonial borders. Just when I landed at the airport yesterday, I met two Zimbabweans, one called Mukasa and another called Mondo, which are very common names in Uganda. Comrades, throughout history, what has united our people most has been confronting a common enemy. Individuals under normal circumstances who never come together have always been forced to unite in the face of a common enemy. For us, brothers and sisters, we are already united by blood. We are united by history and by destiny. But yet again, we are united by a common enemy called dictatorship. We are united by a common mission to confront the monster called dictatorship, the monster that has kept our people down, the monster that has kept our people in bondage, and yes, our desire to free our people from that monster. Friends, what keeps you awake at night is what keeps us awake at night. What hurts you, hurts us. What you celebrate, we celebrate. When you feel pain, we feel pain, because we are one, a people united by God. We are therefore deeply honored and glad to be invited to this Congress of the Movement for Democratic Change in Zimbabwe. Viva MDC, viva! Viva MDC, viva! Let me also take this opportunity to teach you our slang, our slogan as the People Power movement in Uganda. When I say people power, you say our power. And when I say our power, you say people power. People power, our power. Thank you very much. Friends, we acknowledge your commitment to the freedom of the people of Africa and the citizens of Zimbabwe. I personally want to pay tribute to the founding father of the MDC, the late great leader Morgan Richard Tsvangirai, who I deeply respect. He's a man who we all learn from. I personally can never forget the images I saw on TV of him battered, wounded, his ears oozing with blood, and yet rising up and saying, "No, sir, you have beaten me, but I am not beaten." That was Morgan Tsvangirai. Every day, until he passed on, he woke up to advance the struggle for justice, freedom, and equality. That struggle that he left in your hands, our hands. So we must never betray him. We must always stay true to him and to all the ordinary citizens. Many of them have paid the ultimate price in the struggle for the liberation of our people. May their memory be blessed. While we were disheartened by the loss of President Tsvangirai last year, it was also a great relief that we saw a new breed of leaders who were ready to continue with the great work to push for the democracy, good governance, and rule of law. In particular, I want to thank and pay respect to my brother, Comrade Nelson Chamisa, who stood up courageously and has shaken not only Zimbabwe, but the entire continent of Africa. You, sir, are an inspiration to many of us. We learn from you and we respect you. Your resilience amidst very difficult odds has encouraged many of us on this continent to fight hard for what we believe in at whatever cost, and never, ever to give up. Comrades, the story of many African countries has been a story of unfulfilled hopes and broken dreams. I'm sure that you are all familiar with our history. We all recall how many times our people have dreamt of a new day, only for them to go back into the darkest of the night. We are aware of the disappointments and the betrayals of the hopes that our fathers and mothers have had. So today, we gather here in Zimbabwe, a nation that has witnessed the good, the bad, and the ugly. They've witnessed the sad story of unfulfilled hopes. Decades ago, we as a people, we were colonized. Our fathers and mothers became so tired of colonial rule. They struggled to end it. They demanded for self-governance. They mobilized, they organized, they rallied the masses, and at different times, and in many cases, a very huge cost in terms of lives of our people was paid. But finally, we won our independence. Our fathers and mothers jubilated, and our fathers and mothers indeed burst in song. A new dawn had come upon them, or so they thought. They felt very hopeful that our nations were finally in their own hands. They had the chance to shape their destiny. With colonial rule finally defeated, they were confident because the destiny of their countries were finally in the hands of their sons and daughters. Personally, back home, I'm sure many of you don't know where I got my Christian name. My Christian name is Robert. And my parents gave me that name after a great African leader of that time, one Robert Mugabe. He was a prized revolutionary, and how he descended from the great respected leader that he was to a despised autocrat is a very sad story for our history in Africa. But also it is a big lesson for all of us present today. So comrades, soon after things started to change, only a few years after independence, some unwanted guests started showing up in the politics of our country. Selfishness, greed, mistrust, name them. The new liberators had become the new colonial masters. Mentors quickly descended into tormentors. And yes, freedom fighters became dictators. Many of our countries were quickly brought to their knees. Economies were crushed despite our enormous natural resources. Our people died in unnecessary wars despite our shared heritage. Our men and women lived like paupers in the land of plenty, Africa. In this very nation, which was once called the breadbasket of Africa, images of starving children and children unrest disturbed the conscience of the world. All this was because of bad governance. All this was because of corruption, nepotism, and the greed of our leaders that had decided to become misleaders. Indeed, on several occasions in our African history, most Africans started feeling that they were better off with colonialists other than the crop of leaders that had come up. The dreams and hopes of our grandparents were once again shattered. In Uganda, regime after regime took the reins of power, and at each turn, people jubilated on the streets. They dared to dream again, but at every occasion, the dancing was quickly replaced by the crying just a few days or even months later. In my country, in 1986, a man emerged out of a 5-year-long guerrilla war. That war claimed more than 500,000 lives of our people. That young cattle keeper turned soldier stood on the footsteps of our parliament and promised nothing but a fundamental change in the politics of our country. He promised to preside over a country based on the principles of unity, democracy, equality, and social justice. He said that Africa's problem was not the people, but leaders that overstay in power. As we gather here today, ladies and gentlemen, President Museveni has been in power for 33 years and is showing no sign of quitting. Another betrayal of dreams. I would be repeating myself, ladies and gentlemen, talking about what you people have gone through since you got independence in 1980. Our nations now rank very highly in corruption and unemployment. Poverty levels are through the roof, and all the principles of good governance have indeed been thrown through the window. The new colonizers have been merciless. For lack of a better word, they are gangster. They have colonized the central banks. They've colonized the courts of law. Many times elections are only a sham. Those who organize them have been colonized. They have colonized the police and they've colonized the military. They have enriched themselves while the healthcare system limps and the education system is a shame. Many who have dared to stand up against the new colonizers have been tortured and lawfully detained, exiled, or even murdered. Most of us here, ladies and gentlemen, are victims of such excesses. The youth who agitate for change have been dismissed as distractors. Well, they are overfed. They won't tolerate anyone whose noise seems to distract them from eating. Our governments have mortgaged our countries to the highest bidder while pretending to be Pan-Africanists. Debts that our children and their children will have to pay, even when the loans acquired are blatantly misused or stolen. As a majority of our citizens are impoverished, those in charge of our affairs continue to enrich themselves and their cronies. I do not have enough time, ladies and gentlemen, to mention everything that has gone wrong in Africa, but indeed, such leaders have made Africa a mess. We all know the tragic story of Africa, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, as we gather here in Zimbabwe today, It is okay for us to console ourselves for what has gone wrong, but it's also incumbent upon us to dream again. Friends, we have a responsibility to learn from the past and forge a better destiny for our countries, for our children and our children's children. To understand why the past hopes have been broken, why they've not been fulfilled, and yes, to decide whether we shall be the fulfillment or we shall be another disappointment. Even as we speak right now, some people are skeptical. Once bitten, twice shy. They wonder if we're not promising another false hope. I have personally been telling my people in Uganda not to look at me as the next prophet or the next liberator. I implore all of us, friends, all of us leaders that are present here today, not to see ourselves in that light. Time has come for Africa to dismantle the big man syndrome and build institutions and big ideas. Time has come, friends, for us to put an end to gun power and build people power. Time has come for us to let the citizens of our country to truly determine their destiny. For example, those of Burkina Faso, those of Gambia, those of Algeria, and recently, those of Sudan. Friends, a people united shall never be defeated. I repeat that. A people united shall never be defeated. And I will ask my fellow leaders to repeat after me that a people united will never be defeated. And all of us, friends, let us say, a people united will never be defeated. A people united will never be defeated. Friends, we have seen dictators fall. We have seen entrenched systems dismantled. The young people of Africa are speaking, and we shall amplify their voice because we are one. That should be our struggle. We must help our people realize that they have many times placed their hopes in different so-called liberators, and they have been burnt severely. They cannot rely on anyone anymore. The people must rely on themselves. We are the people. We are the continent. We are the future. And yes, we are the change we badly need. The young, the old, the men and the women, the educated and the uneducated. We have a moral responsibility, friends, to help our people dream again and accept now that we must teach them about what each one must do. Each one must do what they can do, and yes, they must do all they can do. It will not take one leader, it will not take one political party, and yes, it will not take one country to rid Africa of poverty, ignorance, and disease. It will take all of us. Like history shows, friends, whenever Africa has had challenges, whenever Africa in the past has come to the crossroads, patriotic women and men have had to come together. Africa will indeed be free from our new colonizers if we come together continuously. I have never been as hopeful as I am right now. Seeing us come together from different nations of Africa, speaking with one language, freedom for our people, is a big relief in our times. We may be different political ideologies, we may have different strategies or approaches, but like Malcolm X said, our ultimate objective is the same: complete freedom, complete liberty, and complete dignity for our people. And I'm sure we shall achieve that in our lifetime. I thank you, friends, for listening to me, and I thank you, Mr. President, for according me this opportunity. I thank all of you leaders, and I thank the people of Zimbabwe. One love. Thank you.
People power! Power, power! Chisa mpama chisa! Guqula izenzo zakho. Yesoko. Thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much, leadership. Panguva ino, regandi dane ZAP, regandi dane we ZAP, wafike kuno, ZAP leadership. ZAP. Program yedu, tikapedza pano, program yedu official opening, tichasara, nema delegate yedu, Congress, achapinda mutendi umo, toenda mberi ne program yedu, ma discussions in mathematics at chaita after this program. Tapedza izozo, tichaita ma caucuses, ma candidates edu, like to present themselves to the Congress delegates. Then after that, we are going to have elections, a women assembly, followed by my elections, a standing committee, main body tomorrow. Chinjaiwe! Matira kwayo! Yes, Oko! Zapu, please. Zapu, please. Chaizandla!
Viva MDC, viva! Viva MDC, viva! Viva Nelson Chamisa, viva! Salibonani bantu bakithi. Linjani? Mina ngingumakhi Mbayiwa. Ngilapha njengomuntu weZAPU, yimi Treasurer General weZAPU. Ngilosizi olukhulu olwenzakaleyo ukuthi ubaba uDabengwa uselele phansi. Eselele phansi lapha ngibe ngizathi mina ngingahloniphanga inkosi yami uChief ubaba uNdiweni ukuthi lokho okwenzileyo ukuthi uthe li-observe iminute esilent elutshwana angisoze ngisakwenza lokho ngoba induna sikwenzile. Okwami ke esengizakwenza ukuthi ngilichasisele ukuthi silani lapha abantu beMDC silifisela yonke into enhle kakhulu ukuthi lihambe liye phambili ngento leliyenzayo ngoba i-democratic process that you are fighting for is the democratic process that we have been fighting for a long time lathi njengabantu beZAPU. Ngiyafisa ke bantu bakithi ukuthi ngilichasisele ukuthi upresident wami ubaba uDabengwa has been declared a national hero by this government, the same government that made him to suffer for the years that have gone by. Kodwa ke okwanamhla uyali wathi engakabhubhi wathi angazasichiye kasoze ahambe eHeroes Acre eyilala lamasela uzahlonipha ukuthi ahambe eyilala labantu owabalwela isikhathi sakhe sonke azawazo wayakufa ahambe eyilala labo ngoba it is not an important issue ukuthi ukanjiswe eHeroes Acre uyehlala lapho kulamasela khona. Abantu sebebulela ilizwe kalisela mali yonke into kayisekho. So siyathaba ke bantu bakithi ukuthi ubaba uChamisa is going to take us a step ahead. Si remove ububi bonke lobukhona. We spent much of our time as young boys. Ngiyabona kulabafana abancane lapha. I remember I was one time 16 years old when I decided to go out of the country and carry a gun. Ngawuthwala umbhobho kwaze kwaba leso sikhathi for 5 years ngisempini, but I did not benefit anything in this government. I'm not shy to tell you that. And ubaba uDabengwa ngamfica esefika empini kudala useze wafa engazange abela lutho. Bantu bakithi ngala amabala amalutshwana siyalivalelisa silifisela ukuthi into yeni ihambe kuhle liqede kuhambe kungabi le problem. But abantu inkosi yami sikhulumile ubaba uKhayisa. Ubaba uKhayisa yinduna yami, yinduna kababa uDabengwa, yikho lapho ubaba uDabengwa ozalahla khona, maybe a Tuesday or Wednesday if I'm not wrong. Thank you so much. Chisa MDC Chisa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Zapuarere mawoko cha izanla. Panapa pa Congress yedu, Mr. President. We invited our veterans. We invited my freedom fighters. So panguwa inopo musangano wa MDC. Do musangano chete unoromekeza our veterans. Do musangano chete unoromekeza vese wakarira wondi warisungunuko. Warware mawoko. Panguwa ino. Chisa mpama chisa. Kutula. Isenza zako. Welcome, nigga. Siana inaye, Chamisa muno muwengereye. Siana inaye, Chamisa muno muwengereye. Siana inaye, Chamisa muno muwengereye. Chisa mpama chisa. Chamisa hoye! Chamisa hoye! Zimbabwe hoye! Yesoko! Nakoko! Nepopo! Thank you. My veterans edu, nema freedom fighters edu, tinokumbirai, neromeke zorakatsika, musiko kunomberi, vachiuya, ngatuarere mawoko. Chimburu wa mani mpichana mfano wangu. Roa mpichana Jose. Roa mpichana Jose. Taba faramana. We are on the way. Faramana Baki Chapo. Usadzima rekantambe. Chisa mpama chisa. Chinjaiwe. Kutula. Izenzo. Mani Matlavazu. Mulikawoto. Mapona mapona. Twalumba, twalumba, twalumba. Tinokutendai vakuru vedu ndibvumidzei kupa mike ino kuna baba Pakachipoera. Kune kwava kupaka pfutikwa muzionere. Varware maoko.
Chinja. Chinja. Ezoko. Zimbabwe woye. Chamisa woye. Movement for Democratic Change woye. Movement for Democratic Change woye. Ndini Pakachipoera. Pakachipoera akarwa ari kuzanla. Iye zvino ndoda kuti Comrade Machiri, chairman we Freedom Fighters, amboita kanhangari vanze nemashoko mashoma shoma ndozoti ndopinda ndobvarura.
Chinja maitiro ezoko tinofara President Chamisa neutungamiri hwese huri pano. Pamusoro ima Freedom Fighters tose tiri pano. Isu sema Freedom Fighters taona mkomana uya ainzi Robert anetsa atidira mvura, takasiyana naye tikagara pasi tikati toita sei ideology yechimurenga yarasika. Tikaona bato reMDC richizadzisa zvatakarwira, ndosaka tiinavo tiri tese. Zvazvinoreva ndezvizvi, isu tiripo padeployment, tinotumwa neleadership, tinotumwa nemusangano kusunungura Zimbabwe. Zvazvinoreva ndezvizvi, 2023 akusari anonzwa. Zvavaita tinozviziva, pasingapindwe tinenge tiripo, tinenge tiri kumusha ikoko. Politics dzedu hadzisi dzemutown, ndedzekuruzevha pa polling station. Saka every polling station will be manned by a freedom fighter. Musatye mauya kumusha, tinenge tiriko. Chinja maitiro ezoko.
Right. Comrade Machiri vekuzanda. Ndakutora Comrade Ndiweni vekuzipura. Amandla. Amandla.
Sanibonani bahlabazulu. Bantu bakithi sithe sibe lapha sesithembele ku President uChamisa. Chamisa waye! Chamisa waye! President Chamisa, you are the only hope of Zimbabweans. People are banking on you, President Chamisa. Thank you, Honorable. You are the only person that can take Zimbabwe forward. Bantu bakithi ngithe ngilibikele nguChristopher Ndiweni. Umfowethu Chief Ndiweni lapha ngubhuti wami. Asilwelanga thina ukuthi sibusise izanu. Asilwelanga umgabe lomnankakwa ukuthi kubuye yibo ababusa iZimbabwe kwathi salwela ukukhulula abantwana beZimbabwe, which is you, all of you. Angifuni ukuthatha isikhathi esinengi, ngiphiwe i1 minute ukuthi ngikhulume. Ngiyabonga.
Zvakanaka chiteerera imunzwe manje. Zuva ranhasi kwatiri riri very historic. Zuva ranhasi riri very symbolic. Teerera imunzwe chatavinga pano.
tainivhaitwa isu takadavira kuti taakuuya kucongress yeku MDC Alliance kuuya kuzopa solidarity zvichireva kudai kuti kubva nhasi zvichienda mberi isu varwiri verusununguko vekuma-70s takuuya kuzopa chimuti cheshoti relay ku-MDC kuti endai nechimuti ichi. Tiri kureva kuti kudii? Tiri kureva kuti struggle yatakarwira isusu for national democracy ne-liberation yakahijackwa panzira. History yacho tinoiti 1977-78 ndo pakapinda ma-opportunities nevatengesi ndo vakazotungamira struggle, very unfortunate. Saka isusu tanga taane chinetu takanga takunetseka, asi pakazoti MDC ichuya papolitical arena takati hano mavalues aya okutanga kubvira ku-NDP ayese inchiraindi mu-MDC. Saka tinoti chimuticho ku-MDC. Tiri kureva kuti kudii? Tiri kureva kuti kubva nhasi zvichienda mberi sekutaura kwaita comrade Machiri, sekutaura kwaita comrade Ndiweni, isusu taakuchizoshanda nemi nokuti tiri kuziva kuti flag independence takaipuhwa namaBritish, asi agenda ya democracy imbishi macomrades, imbishi. Pari zvino rovambira rakatsitsirirwa nedanda, pari zvino rovambira rakatsitsirirwa nedanda, asi be very careful usasvike mahangashu nekuti ndo pariri most dangerous. Arrangement yavainayo ndeyekuti the nearer you are to the center ndo panouya mari. Saka tinoziva kuti mari ichashandiswa kuda kuti varamba vachimentena system yepatronage, system iyo yavanoita iyi yekutenga vanhu kuti endai kumakosi. Saka message yedu yesolidarity ndeyekuti tinokutendai MDC, despite zvese izvo zvekuendeswa kumakosi izvo makwanisa kuorganiza successful congress yatauya kuzosapota. Vanhu ava takatarisana navava ndati rovambira asi rakatsitsirirwa nedanda, chenjerai kunyange rafa usabate mazino aro nekuti rine poison. Kureva kuti vanhu vatiri kudhirena vava musarege pakati penyu pachipinda mhepo nekuti vanopinda nepapinda mhepo. Message yedu isusu ndeyekuti takazviona nekuti pano pane vari pano vakasungwa 77 ne78 vachinzi muda kuendesa musangano kuZAPU. Ndo pakataurwa nyaya yekunzi gwauya usatya zvekuenda kumusha, nzipura iriko tichanoirakasha. Kurakasha vakakuona kakaitwa paguku rahundi ndo zvakuda kugadziriswa nhasi kumatebhelendi uko izvo. Saka isusu tiri kuti takavaona vanhu ava, tactics dzavava varegedzi, asi iye zvino tinovaziva avakatsitsirirwa nedanda. Shoko redu rekupedzisira nderekuti kubva nhasi zvichienda mberi, contest iri kupi? Contest iri kumawards. Ndoda kuti umwe neumwe wenyu panapa aite imagination yekuti mawards aya ari 1600 ese anofanira kutorwa ne-MDC. Kungobva ipapo taakumacha kuenda kuvictory. Isu tinoziva kuti experience yedu takanga tichikunda varungu kumasectors. Saka iye zvino kwatiri kukunda vanhu ava kumawards ndo kune contest. Saka kumawards ngande tinogadzirira kuvakunda kumawards. Vachamisa tiri kuda kuita mapillars enyu, tinoita mapillars enyu tichinosenzera kubvira kumawards nokuti ndo kune experience yedu kwashaitsandira kumawards. MDC woye! Chinja maitiro chinja! Yezvoko!
Very powerful, 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 powerful. Hey! Panane naro ere! Panane naro ere! Apana nditi! Chisa mpama chisa! Ndafarira chunu chimwe Mr. President. Pane zvakawanda zvose zvataura zvakakosha pano. Nyaya yekuti iyo ngatitorei mawadzi ese ari 1958 varore mavoko. Rimwe shoko vavuya nemo paslogani yangu yekuti iyo ngativake musangano kupi ndoda kuti vakuru vangu vanzwe pano kuti tirimo mugwara iroro. Ngativake musangano pawati, ngativake. Very good. Mira ndobuda pakona po. Chisa mama chisa. Hezoko. Ngativake. Terera ikandwa risuri ndati pakona po. Pakona po chetapo. Ngativake. Ndati chiko. Very good. Kubvapo kusvikapo moite zvinoodha ndizoka. Yezoka. Ngativake. Karumbo kangu kako kandakafoma kuti zvipinde muvanhu kusaruko. Ngativake. Ndati chiko. Munogonesa mani zurara mavoko. Mutauro wedu wekupedzisira tisati tasvika kumakata kunonzi iko zvikomo zvinoponana mhute. Panguva ino ndoda kusumudza vamawarire veNPF tisati tada kumusorosoro. Varore mavoko veNPF vamawarire. Tinokutenda vamawarire.
Chinja maitiro ndinotenda neinvitation ino. Ndaudzwa kuti ndiri troublemaker saka handidi kuita troublemaking pano. So I will stick to something that I've written down, because all the experiences of the invited guests of Comrade Bobby Wine, I have gone through that. I've gone through our airport, even with my little children, and I've been accompanied by people that I don't know. They ask me questions as I go out, and they ask me questions as I come back. So, vachamisa tinotenda, nevese vamuchasaruza ma-vice presidents, vamuchasaruza kuita ma-SG, tinoda kukutendai musati masarudzwa, nokuti tinoziva mune ndima hombe. Inini ndauya pano, I'm standing instead of my son Dimoyo, vatadza kuuya nekuti she is attending the funeral of one of our founding fathers, Dr. Dumiso Davengwa. But vandituma nemessage yokuti, ndikudzei kuti, we have been watching what you have been doing. We have been impressed by the democratic process that you are presiding over. Tinotenda nekuti makavhura mukana mukaita competition yatakadzidza tese. We have seen democracy at play. We have seen civility at play. We have seen respect. Uyezve tine urombo nenjodzi dzamakasangana nadzo. We are made to understand pane two party cadres who perished in an accident. Tine urombo zvikuru. We also pray kuti mwanasikana wangu Mrs. Vimbai Changirai Java we wish a speed recovery. But vachamisa message yangu hombe yandatumwa nayo. Ndeyekuti pane vamwe ma-political parties vakadeedzana kuti vaite yavanoti political dialogue. Vakatya kuti vaiti national dialogue because they don't have the national mandate. So tiri kuti vachamisa makapiwa national mandate pamakavhotegwa. Kana pane vakamboita ma-statistics ama-elections, munoziva kuti vamugabe vakavhotegwa nevanhu 2.1 million vakanzi vahwina ma-election in 2013. Vachamisa vakavhotegwa nevanhu 2.6 million vakanzi havana kuhwina ma-election. Hatizivi kuti imetsi dzipi idzo. Chatinoziva ndechekuti ndo pane national mandate ipapo. Saka tinokumbira national dialogue. Vanoita political dialogue ngavaite, havarambidzwi. Ma-political parties anogona kusangana pamwe. They are talking about an electoral pact year 2023. But what Zimbabweans need, what Zimbabweans are yearning for, is a national dialogue. Vachamisa, please take us through this process, your national dialogue. It is going to be an inclusive process. It is going to be a process that will respect the needs of the people. We have a national crisis, therefore we need to talk as a nation. Ndinotenda andichatambisi nguva yenyu mazvita zvenyu.
Tinotenda NPF vamawarire hamuna kutambisa nguva yedu matauro machoko makukutu atichatora tigoshanda nawo semusangano kuwanda uya kubanana kwakakosha. Panguva ino ndoda kusumudza shumba yangu iri pano, murambwe vari pana vanhu va-independent candidate vakahwina zvine mutsindo panotonapo vari mukuru weyadhi vatemba muliswa vamuliswa.
Thank you very much, Organ Shumba Ndinotenda. Let me recognize the president of this powerful institution that is so gathered here, my good brother Nelson Chamisa, the leadership which he works with. Ndichati all protocols observed iyezvinezvi kuitira nguva. Ndino mira panapa ndichizvininipisa ndichipa kutenda vanhu vakawanda. Ndino makundinzwa here? Makundinzwa here? Aiwa, kazhinji kacho ndikatara munotoni kuti sumudzai maoko. Kuna akawanda ndinoona nditaure chimbosumudzai maoko ndione kuti muri kundinzwa. Aiwa, ndofunga ya ndazviona. Ndati ndoda kuchingamidza President Nelson Chamisa webato rinokosha chaizvo munyika. Nekuti dei bato renyu risipo, dei vamunangagwa vasipo futi. Saka zvinoda kuti muchikwikwidzana panyaya idzi, asi zvandoda kuti nditaure kwamuri ndezvekuti senyika yeZimbabwe zvandinokumbira leadership ndezvekuti tofanira kunge tichiisa vanhu pamberi. Tikaisa vanhu pamberi zvakawanda zvinoitika. Hongu ndanzwa national dialogue ichitaurwa. Ina hangu ndinoseka nekuti vamwe varimo ndakatowana mavhotsi akawanda kupfuura iwo kuconstituency chaiko. Ndofunga mukaita metsi dzacho ndofunga ndiri number 5 kana number 6 pamacandidates ese akada kuita mama president. Saka ikanzi political actors dialogue, ndinozvibvunza kuti ko independent member haasi here political actor? Ameno vechirungu vachatidzidzisa kuti haasi here political actor. Kana ari political actor sei vasipo? zvandofana kutaura ndezvekuti bato renyu is the biggest opposition in the country. Hazvidi kuti tiswere tichinetsana, and hapana chingaitike munyika munomu while the ruling party is there ichitadza kugara pasi ichitaura ne the biggest opposition. That is inevitable. Ndinozvipa nguva. Aiwa, I think munhu wese ane chair yake, ane bhutsu dzake size dzaanopfeka. Andione problem inini vaMnangagwa vachisangana naNelson vari two, because zvimwe zvacho zvinotaurwa na vaChamisa vachiti pane zvansingawirirane nazvo zvakaitika. Musati maenda mberi zviri important kuti vajekeserane vari vaviri vachitaurirana. Zvabva ipapo tozopinda mune dzimwe nyaya dzenyika. Chero pachivanhu pedu kana usingafare uchigunun'una nenyaya yakakubata, iyo inotanga yatambirwa mozeya tochienda kune next level inenge iripo, ndio inenge ya national dialogue inofange ichiona kuti vanhu vese varipo. You don't have to argue with figures. You don't have to argue with facts. But what I can say at the end of the day is it is important that vaMnangagwa na vaChamisa vosangana in the interest of the people who are suffering in Zimbabwe. I think it is important that we are able to realize that nekuti zviri kunetsa ndezvekuti while my political leaders tichinetsana, the majority of the people vari kunetsekana. Saka ini ndinozviziva kuti Mwari ariko meeting yavaMnangagwa navaChamisa ichaitika vari two pasina vamwe vanhu vanenge varipo. Ndinozviziva kuti imimi ndino appreciate ma concerns enyu, asi kuti nyika iende mberi, the meeting of vaMnangagwa na vaChamisa has got to take place, and it has to take place kuti tiende mberi ne agenda dzatinenge tinadzo. Ndinofara kuti ndiripo pano, ndinofara nchiona kungana kwamakaita, ndichitaura futi zvakare kuti chero mukaita sei isu ticharamba tichinamata kuti vanhu vaviri ava vasangane for the good of Zimbabwe. Thank you very much.
Chisa mpamatisa, chisa vontwana chisa, chisa vomamatisa, Chamisa oye, yeshoko, nokokoko. Implore akasongo mbichana. Implore akasongo mbichana. Implore akasongo. Chisampa matisa. Chisampa matisa. Roa Jose. Imboro manzi. Chisampa matisa. Ngali kare pasi. Honorable Chabuka, sit down. Sit down. Chinjaiwe! Chisampa matisa! Chamisa! Chamisa oye! Chamisa oye! Matirako jisani sana yo! Chinjaiwe! Kutula! Izenza zako! Yasoko! Nekoko! Nekoko! Ma provincia organizer ese! Ma provincia organizer ese! Enda hapo! Ma provincia organizer ese! Enda hapo! Panguwa ino Mr. President! Ndimvumirai kusumudza mwana wenyu achata poemu President vedu vasati vauya kuzotaura pano. Uya mwanangu, rora mwana mawoko.
Chiza Mbama Chiza. Chiza our icon President Changrai Chiza. 2019 Congress. Chamisa chata chete. Heshoko. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. His Excellency, the People's President of Zimbabwe, Advocate Pastor Nelson Chamisa, and the MDC Alliance family, all protocols observed. I welcome you all to the crossover Congress to define a new course for Zimbabwe. I'm going to present my poem called "The Battle is About to Be Won." The Zimbabwean battle has been here far too long. God's children have suffered enough, but the battle is about to be won. Zimbabweans have lived without their own currency. Students have dropped from their studies. Roads have been turned into death traps. Hospital beds are now death beds. Doctors and teachers' dignity has been eroded. Every Zimbabwean has been turned into a vendor. But the battle is about to be won. Zimbabweans are scattered around the world in search of greener pastures. Zimbabweans have been victims for human trafficking. Zimbabweans have been turned into heckless people who can kill their brothers and sisters for rituals and money. Corruption is the order of the day in Zimbabwe, but the battle is about to be won. The cries of the people of Zimbabwe have reached God's ears. The sun is going to shine, for the Lord His hand is upon us. Let us all sing praises to the Almighty God. The writing is on the wall. Mene mene ufasini tekele, umambo wako wapera. For indeed, the battle is about to be won. Aluta continua. Stronger together. Together stronger. Thank you very much.